The father says, "Son, look for it there." The boy says, "Dad, Dad, I got it, where are you?" "Dad, Dad, don't leave me here, Dad." In the car the boy's father says, "Hi my love, how are you? I have excellent news to give you. I've already managed to get rid of that obstacle and now it's just you and me, and we'll be very happy." He arrives and says, "Hi mother-in-law, I'm here." "Old boring." And the mother-in-law says, if he thinks he's going to stay in this good life, he's very wrong. In the living room he says, "I can't wait to get that old woman out," and she says, "I wonder where my grandson is." The mother-in-law goes into the living room and says, "Let me ask you, where is my grandson? Because lunch is almost ready and so far you haven't brought him to lunch." He says, "Me? I don't know anything, and look, you're such a good grandmother that you don't know where your grandson is." And she says, "Look Josiel, I don't even want to know, where's my grandson?" He replied, "Let me see here, but it's not in my pocket." And the mother-in-law said, "Do you think I'm here to put up with insults, Josiel?" And he says, "If you're bothered, the street door is useful for the house." And the mother-in-law replied, "The house that I don't know if you remember, which is mine." And he says, "Not your house. This house here belongs to my late wife." And she said, "Yes, it really belonged to my daughter, but now it belongs to my grandson and there's nothing of yours here." And he says, "Beth, I don't want to argue with you anymore, and do me a favor, get your things and leave my house." And she replied, "I'm not going out, and I'll tell you something, I will find out what you did to my grandson, and woe to you if you've done something to him. See, and I'll find out." Beth says, "Where did he leave this boy? He can't be far away, I'll go look for him." On the phone Josiel says, "Hi love, where are you? I'm already missing you." His girlfriend replied, "Hi love, I miss you too, and I'm going to stop by your house, but let me ask you, there won't be anyone there, right? Will it be just the two of us?" He replied, "Yes, I already told you, I already put an end to the problem." She confirms and says goodbye. The girl asked, "Did they abandon you too?" He replied, "I think so." And she says, "I'll show you a place for us to stay, I sleep well here." And he says, "Here? But where are your parents?" She says, "My mother passed away and my father ended up abandoning me, and if you want you can stay here with me." And he asked, "What do you do here all day?" She replied, "I play my favorite pranks." And he asks, "What is it?" She says, "It's looking at the sky, and you use your imagination to see the drawings in the clouds." And he asks how my father will find me here. She says, "Your father won't come back. He's going to take care of you, now it's me." And he says, "And who takes care of you?" She says, "I'll manage, I've been alone for so long, and now you're calm here, I'm going to look for something for us to eat, don't leave there." And he said, "Don't take too long, because I'm too scared." And she replied, "No need to be afraid, I protect you." Beth sees the girl and says, "Hey little girl, have you seen this child here?" She replied, No, I didn't see it," and ran away. Beth says, "There's something wrong there." The girl says, Emmanuel, we have to get out of here now." And he says, "I'm hungry." And she says, No, not now, we'll eat later." Soon Beth arrives and says, "Emmanuel, what are you doing here? Even more so with this pickpocket." And the girl says, "I'm not a pickpocket, ma'am." And Beth says, "You're taking my grandson down the wrong path, let's go Emmanuel, leave that little pickpocket there." And the girl says, "I just wanted to help." The girlfriend says, "This house is beautiful, was it very expensive?" He replied, "It was very expensive, I worked a lot to buy her and come to this house, it wasn't easy." And she says, "What about that woman who was her mother-in-law? Where is she?" He says, "She's already moved out of here, she just came to spend some time, but she's already left." And she says, "That's good, now it's just the two of us and we're going to build a family." Beth comes home and says, "Listen here, you unhappy person, I told you not to do anything with my grandson." And he says, "I didn't do anything with your grandson, are you going crazy?" Beth says, "No, he didn't do anything, he just tried to leave him in the square, he told me." The girlfriend says, "Didn't you tell me that you got rid of these people?" Josiel replied, No, calm down, I'll solve it." And Beth says, "You're not going to solve anything, take your things and leave here, and the girlfriend says, I don't understand anything anymore. Is it her house? Wasn't the house yours? Bette says, no cute, let me just tell you something. He told you that the house is his, but there's nothing of his here, the house is mine. And Josiel says, calm down, it's her house, but I'll explain. And the girlfriend asks, is this her house? Look, honestly I'm not going to stay with you, you're poor and I don't stay with poor people. And Josiel says, love. Wait. Josiel gets up and says, did you see what you did, witch? Bette says, don't come and pay me like a brave man, you take the cloths from your ass and get out of here, because what you did to my grandson is a crime and I'm going to call the police if you don't leave now. And Josiel says, are you really going to do that? With your grandson's father? Beth says, father? What a father, you abandoned your son, and that's not the role of a father, that's the role of a kid, and leave here. And Josiel says, I'm not leaving, it's my house. And Bette says, it's your choice, or you get out of here now, or I call the police. Emmanuel says, Dad, listen to Grandma, she's serious. And Josiel says, okay my son, I'm going, but I say it's not going to stay like that, no. And Bette says, he still thinks he's right, he can leave stepping hard there, I'm not even there for you. Bette hears the bell and says, who will it be this time? When you open it, you see the girl who says, hi, I want to talk to Emmanuel. And Bette says, Emmanuel what? What do you want with my pickpocket grandson? The girl says, I'm not a pickpocket. And Emmanuel says, Grandma, she's not a pickpocket, she helped me. And Beth says, what do you mean, my son? Emmanuel replied, when Dad abandoned me there, she was the one who gave me shelter. And Bette asked, do you live there? The girl says, yes, ma'am, since my parents abandoned me, but I just came to return your ball. And Beth says, no, let's go in and have a snack, if you helped him, I'll help you. And the girl says, wow, what a beautiful house. You live here? Emmanuel replied, yes, I live here, do you want to live here too? The girl replied, I would like to, but I don't think I can. And Bette says, why can't you? If you don't have a father or a mother and you live in that square, you can live here with us, what do you think? The boy thanks his grandmother and hugs her.